song it. Take 5.
Nauvoo, Illinois is located on the eastern banks of the Mississippi River. This area went from a swampy, unwanted area to a bustling Midwest frontier town of 12,000 people, rivaling Chicago's population at the same time. It began as a place of refuge and hope, to then a dark past of tragedy and genocide. A history largely unknown and nearly forgotten. The history was made by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in 1838. When the church members settled the area that was called Commerce at the time, in April 1840, Commerce was renamed Nauvoo, a Hebrew word meaning "they are beautiful," by Joseph Smith, the leader and prophet of the church, then turning a swamp into what is known as Old Nauvoo. Just 7 years after settling the area, religious persecution again pushed the church members to the breaking point when the leader of the church, Joseph Smith, and his brother Hiram were murdered by a mob in the neighboring town of Carthage, Illinois, with many of the church members being murdered by uneducated mobs from Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. And by this time, the church was comprised of 12,000 members. After the murder of Joseph and Hiram Smith, the persecuted Latter-day Saints were completely abandoned by the United States government's protection. The new church leader, Brigham Young, made a mass exodus from Old Nauvoo. The church left Nauvoo and the country to Utah Territory seeking religious freedom. Then a poor and desolate people in 1846, the church has now purchased the entire area of Old Nauvoo. They have preserved the town and have turned it into an amazing experience to learn about the history of the early church and pioneer way of life. Follow along with me as we tour Old Nauvoo, Illinois. I will take you behind the scenes to witness some of the facilities and service missionaries in action. It takes a significant effort to maintain and beautify the grounds and historic buildings in Old Nauvoo. We will also visit the Nauvoo Teamsters to see how the equine and bovine transportation is managed.
Ain't alright, the hardness of my head. Now close your eyes, we'll spin around, say, hard time you could find, but ain't the way that you want. But it's still alright.
Okay, so hey, Mom, we made it to Nauvoo, Illinois. Finally, it's like midnight last night, but
So we are driving around on a driving tour of Old Nauvoo with my mom.
super excited. So does the church actually own all this land then now?
Yeah.
Did they buy it from the Community of Christ?
Yeah. So this is the main street right here. If you turn right.
This is the main street?
Old Nauvoo.
Yeah.
So they had a derecho. I don't know if you know what a derecho is.
I don't know what a derecho is.
It
What
is
is it?
a sideways tornado, and it lasted for 45 minutes, and it knocked down 700 trees
Oh, wow.
on the church's property.
Huh.
And so they had a lot of cleanup
Oh, wow.
going on. This right here is the Wainwright, the wheelwright, and the blacksmith shop.
Yeah.
And they have tours. This is the 70s hall where they had meetings here. This hasn't been open. It will open in the summer when there's more people. This is the Trail of Hope. This is the road that the saints went down when they left Nauvoo in their wagons with their families. And so along here, and so if you look along there, there's quotes by different people as they left and were leaving Nauvoo. We have one down here that our great-great-grandmother did, and I'll show you where that is. But in the summer, they have this performing missionaries come along here and tell stories, and they light these little things along here. They call it the Trail of Hope. This is our grandmother's, Jane Johnston. It says, I was the midwife, and I delivered 9 babies that night. And there goes the squirrel.
9 babies in one night?
That night that
Holy
they
moly.
left. Here's where they crossed.
This is the Mississippi River, right?
This is the Mississippi, and at the time the saints left, it wasn't this wide. It was a lot narrower. It's because they have dammed off the thing up there, and it's made the river wider. Because it's really low right here. There's a sign right here.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
That tells about it.
Huh.
That this building, this home right here was there when he came. And so he and Emma lived in it right there, the one that has the wood that's older. He actually built on more of that one that has the white siding. Joseph Smith built that on to have more room. In the summer under this tree, they call it the singing tree. The missionaries gather under it and sing songs. Here's the print shop over here. They had asked John Taylor to live here. They asked him to live in that home since he was doing the print shop. The post office. Here's the Browning home and gunsmith shop, and it's really good to go into because they show you how you make a gun. And it's really difficult.
So this is called the Women's Garden?
Yes, because they have statues of what women do. Like this is a grandma quilting.
It's really pretty.
It's so beautiful. Lots of cool flowers and quiet and peaceful. I was telling David about the derecho, and that during the derecho, there was a lot of people out here. It was in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Was it just like a sideways tornado?
It's just a strong wind, 100-mile-an-hour winds. Derecho is straight ahead in Spanish. That's what they call them. Those winds and stuff. This team of oxen was hooked up. The wagon was tipped over.
Wow,
and they just hung here. Same with our horses down at the wagon depot. They didn't tip anything over, but trees and branches and everything all over.
No way. They tipped the wagon over then, huh?
They tipped this one. Broke a couple of bows and stuff.
Dang.
This carriage depot over here, we couldn't even get the wagons out of there because the trees were just.
No way.
So anyway, it was a mess. I mean, there was trees down everywhere. It looked like a war zone.
No way.
Terrible.
They had 700 trees down
700 trees,
in this area.
Wow.
And they were not just branches or the tops, but some of them were completely uprooted.
Wow.
They're on partridge. That one tree is probably, 6 or 8 feet in diameter.
No way.
Right out in the middle of the road.
Okay.
So it was quite a wind, I'll tell you. So, but anytime those sirens go off, you go in the basement, and stuff. So that's where everybody held out for 45 minutes,
Our next stop is at the Old Nauvoo Facilities Management Woodshop and Greenhouse Nursery. It takes a significant amount of planning, maintenance, and labor to maintain the facilities and landscaping of Old Nauvoo.
I'm Elder Sherbel from Bountiful, Utah. I'm the fine wood shop. We have the rough carpentry shop on the other side. So we build cabinets, we build windows, doors, just what's ever needed for the antique homes.
And what do you, so you build them for the homes and all the museum? And
We do. We'll get windows. These windows are like period windows.
Yeah.
So they're completely rotted. So we have to rebuild the windows or make new windows like these over here. This is the kind of wood that we get, completely rotted stuff.
Wow. So you're basically maintaining all of the old historic homes?
We do. We maintain the woodwork, the windows, the doors. This is a window that was made, and you can see right here it has the tenons on it.
Right. And now you were telling me the other day that you're not using glue or...
There's no glue, there's
or
no
nails?
screws, there's no nails in this window at all.
So they're completely period pieces.
They are
like
completely period pieces, but you can feel that there is no wobble in that.
How long does it take to make something like that?
Something like that probably takes, by the time you set up, probably about an hour and a half.
Oh, really? So you're pretty quick at it.
If you're set up.
Yeah.
But I had to quickly learn how to make this joint because these are solid one pieces. So it took me a while to figure this out.
So you just one solid piece with no nails, no screws.
No nails, no screws.
No way.
Kind of like an origami deal. So when that goes together, that's what you get. These pieces here coming into there, I have a little tenon on that too.
Wow.
You can see the hole there.
Right.
They're interesting to try to put together and get everything in the holes and get them pulled together.
Huh. That's really neat. Now you made a door also, that you do doors that you're... Let's take a look at that.
I did.
That's really intriguing too. So is this door, where is this going to go?
This door is going to go on Sarah Granger's on the south side. And what they determined is that the door that's on there is not a period door.
Oh, so you're
for the house.
So you recreated a new door.
Right. These are pegs I make just out of a hardwood.
What kind of wood is it that you're using?
And this particular stuff looks like maple.
Yeah.
So anyway, the cross section of this took me a while to figure out how to get moldings made to go in there without falling apart.
Oh, wow.
Like this is doing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
but
it's anyway,
when all fitted in there perfectly.
When these moldings go in, they go in tight and hold everything together.
Yeah.
So the reason this has dark around here is wood generally swells and shrinks.
Right.
And when they paint it, and with this weather around here, when it shrinks, you'll see a raw wood line.
I see.
So I pre-painted all the interior sections that would shrink back.
Yeah.
So now we're in the process of building, the sewing room came to us and they want 8 credenza type cabinets for their new sewing machines.
Oh, okay. So you basically build to order whatever they want or whatever needs restored then, right?
We do.
Yeah.
This is my boss. He's the bishop of the ward up here.
Hello, Bishop. We met the other day. Yeah.
You can see that.
Oh, you guys are doing some CNC work, right?
This will be for the sewing room.
Yeah.
And that's a practice run.
Right.
And what that's going to do is to, I'll show you a drawing. On these tables, there's going to be some legs. That little logo is going to be right there in the end.
Oh, neat. And that's going to go in the sewing room.
That'll go in the sewing room credenzas. So what I'm making right now are the upper supports of the credenza. I was just running them through this sander.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So
really cool.
And these are just held together with pocket screws.
Oh, sure.
And glue.
Those ones are a little easier to make.
These are not period.
Yeah. So some things you don't have to restore to period, and then some things are, just for function, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We get stuff from anything that comes in here. I mean, the pageant is just now starting to gear up, so they bring us all their broken stuff.
Right.
And we have to fix
that. Could you tell me, there was a big storm that came through here, and a bunch of trees blew down. And tell me a little bit about that and what you did with the trees.
When we got here in June, the last part of June, a tornado came through here from across the river. And it dropped hundreds and hundreds of trees. They said somewhere in the range of 700 trees. But I mean, these trees are anywhere from a foot to 3 feet wide.
All right. Rather than waste them, then what did you do?
Rather than waste them, I mean, the whole FM group went out for about 2.5, 3 weeks, and we donned chainsaws and
wow.
we picked up wood, we cut wood, and then the bigger trunks that we hauled up to the sawmill.
Yeah.
So we have our own sawmill,
Uh-huh.
and then we can put, the log on there and then start slicing pieces off to whatever we want.
So do you have any of that, or could
I
show
do.
me some of that just to see what you did with it?
Let's go look.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go look at wood. The wood that we cut down up at the sawmill was this right here. All of this has been cut on the sawmill.
Oh wow.
But these are the logs I cut. This is walnut.
And these were the trees that blew
These
down.
are the
during
trees
storm.
that blew down.
Wow.
We have probably another 20 logs like this sitting up there at the mill.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's really cool.
I mean, just to give you an idea what the cost would be, like this piece right here,
Uh-huh.
if you put that on the open market, you would probably get about $800-900 for that piece.
Really?
But
So you saved
we don't sell them.
just for your own
It's
use
just
here.
for our own use. That up there is the cherry that
Oh,
we
okay.
make the plaques out of,
Uh-huh.
and different kinds of woods that we have.
Wow.
Over here I have ash,
Uh-huh.
and this is cypress up on the top.
How long does it take to dry once you cut it here?
It usually takes a year
Uh-huh.
in this shed. It gets really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can
and then
start
it's a little
working
more
with it.
stable to work with.
Right.
It doesn't shrink. And
Yeah.
But this is the wood that I built the temple lockers out of right here.
Oh wow.
So
And that's walnut,
this is black walnut.
black walnut.
It's a very hard wood. It's one of the prettiest woods there is.
Yeah, you can see the grain in that. That's really cool.
Yeah, when you get kind of the crotch portions
Yeah.
of the wood.
Right. That's really neat.
And I'm the temple ground supervisor.
Okay.
This is for the historic sites and the temple.
Oh, really?
So all of it is in here, plus a few other various things. I think in this greenhouse, most of it is from seed.
And then you transplant all these to the different sites. So.
Yeah, like the second week of May,
Oh,
everything will go.
yeah,
Some
like
of it
a
goes to Adirondack too.
a freeze
do you
date.
know that?
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
So they come up and get it. Okay, you want to see another greenhouse?
Yeah, let's do it.
So these are the coleus that they keep. They've had these for maybe well, you can look on the tag. Some of them have been here a long, long time.
Yeah.
So this is 24 years they've been growing this one.
Oh, wow.
So they'll take 3 and save them, and then
So you like take a cutting and then replant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, we did that in January.
Wow.
So
That's
so
pretty
they have-
impressive that they've
Oh.
kept them going that long.
I know they have over 400 varieties here
Wow.
of coleus.
Are we going to another one?
You want to go to
Well, I
number?
was just going to say that the trees back there, they dig up the trees.
Yeah, those big tropical
trees.
ones.
Really?
Did you see that?
No way. So you dig those up and then put them inside during the winter, then, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
So up in have you seen the women's garden?
Yeah.
It has big beds.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll put these in the center
All right.
and then plant around it.
Cool.
And then in the fall, they'll like cut it and bring it back and allow it to regrow in here.
I guess
It works.
you can keep using it over and over
Uh-huh.
instead of rebuying them. Yeah.
So as long as I've lived here, so
Really.
4 years.
What's the coldest it gets in the winter here?
No. Ask your mom.
Like,
Minus 25.
really?
Yeah.
We have 20 Teamsters here right now. Actually, we got 19. One guy got sent home for medical.
Oh, okay.
So all of us Teamsters come out here in the morning first. Well, and that's the routine.
Yeah.
We'll bring them in here one by one. Everyone, and they're fed. They're fed a grain ration and putting salt and minerals in their feed bunks,
Yeah.
and then everybody will go to a certain feed bunk and wait for that particular horse to come in. We halter that horse,
Yeah.
and then we'll let them eat. And on the board, the coordinator, the scheduling coordinator, will assign what wagon or what carriage you're going to be on for the day, or if you're working in the ox yard.
Yeah.
So we'll, like I said, we'll halter the horses and let them finish their grain. And then those that aren't being worked, we've got another whiteboard out here that tells us which ones aren't going to be worked for the day. Those are let out one by one and put back out here so that they can go out to their pasture for the day. We call that P day, which is pasture day.
Where are they at now?
They're across the road over here in a little pasture we call the King Paulet pasture.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we put them for the night. We have 4 different pastures that they can go to.
Okay.
One of them is just a weekend pasture. We don't use it during the week, but on the weekend when we're not going to be here the next day on Sunday, they'll spend 2 days in that pasture, and then we'll bring them up Monday morning.
And how many horses total?
We have 22 right now. We're down one team. That'll put us back up to 24, and they're talking about getting a 25th and a 26th horse. So we'll have 13 teams here. Yeah, so anyway, the horses, like I say, the ones that aren't going to be used for the day that are sent out, and then the others are brought in into the harnessing shed, and we can go into that harnessing shed and look into there.
Yeah. So they all have names, and
every one of them's got.
Do
their
they all
names
know
written
their recognize their names?
And they do. Yeah, they do. When you're talking to them on the wagon or the carriage, they do know what their names are. Believe it or not.
Oh, that's cool.
This is all the harness, all of our gear is in these 2 rooms here.
Yeah.
And each one of them has got their own names put on it. Each harness is different for the size of the horse. And,
awesome.
So.
Jesse, Jake, Jared, Justin.
Yeah.
Bunch of J's right in a row.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So, and then on the other side over here is the same as this room here.
So you bring them into here
we bring them in here to harness them. Yeah,
oh,
they're so tall. Some of them stand 19 hands. Yeah. So we have these risers that we have to stand on to be able to get our harnesses, the collars, and all that on. You just can't reach up there. I mean, a lot of those horses. I'm 6'2". A lot of those horses you can't even see over the top of them. That's how tall they are.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh. So tomorrow morning we bring them in at 8:30. Give them their grain. The grain will take 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll bring them in here and start harnessing the horses that are going to be used for the day.
Yeah.
Each team, they're a team. Once they're a team, they generally stay together. Those 2 horses work together. They're buddies out in the pasture. They get used to each other. They run together. They get used to each other. They run together, stay together. So that consequently they make a pretty good team together. Some are a little more docile than others. We have some teams that are a little hotter than some. And if they step up inside there, they put their foot out the front. If we're working on the hind leg, we'll pick that hind leg up. We'll put it here. We'll take a rope and we'll wrap that rope around here where the foot's facing this way,
so they can kick or
and what we'll do is we'll work on a left hind leg and a right front leg at the same time. We have them up at the same time.
Yeah.
And so
cool.
It's
so these are the shoes right here. Then?
These are the shoes. Yep.
What are the weld things on them?
That is Drill Tech. It's particles of tungsten.
Oh.
And we'll put a new shoe on a horse, and then come back 6 weeks later, pull that shoe off, and be able to reset that same shoe. So we'll put that shoe back on. Sometimes we'll get 2 resets, a new run plus 2 resets. So because of this tungsten carbide that we put on.
Those things are huge too.
Yeah, they are. That's our largest. That's our largest shoe. Yeah.
Your hand up to that. Yeah. That's awesome.
That's our largest shoes, the 8.
Okay, so it's raining cats and dogs out there. It's 8 in the morning in Nauvoo, Illinois, and we're going down to the stables where the Teamsters have all the horses, and they're going to saddle up or harness up the the horses that they've got for their rides.
Good morning.
Morning.
You're not videoing us, are you?
Oh man.
That's not allowed.
The Nauvoo Teamsters are a group of men who are called by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to serve for 18 months as volunteers without pay. The men are privileged to work with these beautiful horses and oxen of Old Nauvoo. The work they do is not for the faint of heart, working long hours, 6 days a week, rain, snow, or shine. The Teamsters provide carriage rides to visitors to the historic sites throughout Old Nauvoo and care for the livestock that give the charm and experience to this destination location. Old Nauvoo was a great place to visit, a beautiful, well cared for, and managed historic experience. I want to especially thank the facility's management missionaries, the service missionaries, and the Nauvoo Teamsters for sharing a little slice of what they do on a daily basis. And a big thank you to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for the beautiful experience they share with the visitors of Old Nauvoo. If you've made it this far into the video and you're still watching, at the end of my videos, I am going to start showing some of the photos that I have taken along my aimless drifting. This photo is of the Nauvoo Temple I took during my visit. In October 1848, arsonists' fire left only the limestone outer walls intact. In May 1850, a tornado toppled the north wall and weakened 2 others. Local citizens dismantled these walls as a matter of public safety. In 1937, the church acquired a large parcel of the original temple block. Eventually, all of the original land was purchased, 151 years later in 1999 with a historic announcement, stating that they would rebuild the temple. So I'm just leaving Nauvoo. I spent about a week here, and my mom was heading out, and I'm gonna go tell her goodbye. There she is. Gotta get some of this on film, right?
I miss you already.
Did you?
Yes,
Oh,
I
Mom.
love you.
Thanks for letting me spend time in Nauvoo with you.
You're amazing.
Thank you for watching the Aimless Drifter channel. Please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Subscribing is free, and it helps me get more views and motivates me to make more content. See you again soon, aimlessly drifting around planet Earth.